Today, we start the championship cases. For those of you who do not know what this is, I started this back in 2018, continued in 2019, and starting today, we're going to continue in 2020. That's right. While your driver will win the 2020 championship today is Kevin Harvick, but what it is basically, I will make a case for why the playoff drivers will win the championship. I used to start after the final race of the regular season. I'd do 2 a day, and that was just too much. This year, I said, hey, some of these guys are locked in like Hamlin and Harvick, and I can make their cases right now. Other guys obviously need to be locked in, like who's going to make it on points, who could get more wins in these last few races, and they'll be at the tail end. They'll be a little bit into the first round of the playoffs, but we're going to start today with Kevin Harvick, so let's get into it. Why Kevin Harvick will win the 2020 NASCAR Cup Series championship. Let's get into it. Kevin Harvick, you guys know him. He is a Cup Series champion. Back in 2014, he won the title. Has 55 career Cup wins. Has been with multiple teams. Two teams. Richard Childress Racing and, of course, Stewart Haas Racing, who he currently runs for. And this season, it's been another Kevin Harvick year. How about that? Kevin Harvick is well known for winning and winning a lot. Last year, he had 4 wins. 2018, he had, I think, 8 or 9 wins. 2017, he had a pair of wins. So, Kevin Harvick, he's doing it again. He's having one of his Kevin Harvick seasons. But can he win the championship? Well, this one's a bit of an easier case because of how good of a year he's had. But his path to Homestead, he's got the points. I mean, in the first round, if you think about it, he can really afford 2 bad races, I'd say, and need 1 good race. Assuming that because not everyone's going to have a good race. It's not going to be 1 through 15, positions 1 through 15 going to the playoff drivers. If Kevin Harvick wrecks on lap 1, let's face it, some of these guys are going to have issues in the playoffs. Someone's going to blow a tire. Someone's going to be involved in a crash. Someone is going to spin out late in the race. It's happened all the time. It's going to happen again. So Harvick, the first 2 rounds, I'd say, do not have to be anywhere near perfect. He has, right now, assuming he will clinch the regular season title this weekend, I believe. So he has 50 points at least, guaranteed. Guaranteed. That is off 6 wins, 5 stage wins, and winning the regular season points title. And, of course, Dover he can win at. He can get some stage wins. Daytona he can win at, get some stage wins. But he'll breeze through the first round. He'll breeze through the second round. I don't have to make an argument for that. He's got 50 points to his name. He's got a huge gap. Right now, the gap to 13th, which is the first elimination spot, is 47 points. That's almost a whole race. Yeah, he's got a good gap, if you ask me. Kevin Harvick's been wildly consistent this year. In 23 races, he has 19 top 10s, 15 top 5s, and 6 wins. Oh, man. Look at the playoff schedule. He has won all of these tracks, except for the Roval. But everywhere else, he has won. Okay? And some of these he's won recently. He's won this year. You look at the opening playoff race, the Southern 500. He won one of the Darlington races this year. Richmond, it's been a while. Bristol, it's been a while. But that's the first round. As I said, he can breeze through there. He can get a few 17th place finishes throughout the round, and he'll be fine. Las Vegas, he's won at. Talladega, he's won at. It was a while ago. As I said, the Charlotte Road course, he has not won at. Only 2 people have won there, so he had a good run there last year, so he could have a good day there. Kansas, he's been really good at. Texas, he's won the last 3 Texas fall races. Martinsville, it's been a while there. And then, of course, the championship is Phoenix. But anyways, as I said, I think the first 2 rounds, he breezes through. If he gets eliminated, he won't get eliminated. But if he does, that will be the most shocking thing in 2020. Yeah. But anyways, as I said, first 2 rounds he should get through easily. And then you look at the final round, and 2 of those 3 tracks I would say are in Harvick's favor. Kansas, a mile and a half. They've done great on mile and a halves historically. They've done great on the fast tracks. You look at this year, they have wins at really fast tracks. They have wins at Pocono, Indianapolis, Michigan. Both Michigans, that's why I held up 4. But they have won at fast tracks. Kansas is a fast, multi-groove track. They were leading late in this race just a few weeks ago before being passed. Got a runner-up finish or a third-place finish. I can't remember what it was, but they run good there. They lead laps. They win stages. They collect stage points. They will do fine in that race unless they run into problems, a tire issue, wreck, but they still have those 50 playoff points. Then you go to Texas. They've won the last 3 fall races at Texas, even though one of them was technically illegal, but they've won. 2017 you look at, he won. 2018, that was the illegal one. And then last year, he won. He is historically good at the new Texas track. Ever since they've repaved, he went from 0 wins there to 3 wins there. So I think he's going to be a favorite for that race. He's going to run top 5 all day. Heck, he might even win the race. You'll see how I feel in my playoff bracket. And then you go to Martinsville. Martinsville can be a bit of a wild card with how chaotic it can get. We've seen 2017. We've seen 2015. Where major playoff implications happen. 2017, you look at the Hamlin-Elliott situation. 2015, the Kenseth-Logano situation. Martinsville is a cutoff race. That is the only slight concern I have for Harvick, is that if he does have problems in those first 2 races, which would not be on speed, I expect them to be fast, but if they get involved in a wreck, if they blow a tire, if they have a motor problem, if they had problems in one of those first 2 races, I could potentially seeing it being close at Martinsville, and Martinsville is not a favorable track to them, I would say. So that's the only way I'd be concerned. But those first 2 tracks, you got to expect him to win on one of them or run top 5 at both of them. If he can run top 5 in both those races, all he has to do is show up at Martinsville and run 20th, and he'll make it to the Final 4. So those playoff points, they've done well for him. They're going to get him to Phoenix. So then we go to Phoenix. Do I really have to argue this? It's Phoenix and Kevin Harvick. Even though it's been a couple years since he's won there, he has the most wins at Phoenix all time. I think he has 9 wins there. It would be a pretty big 10th win at Phoenix to win the championship on top of that. He's won in this format before at Homestead Miami Speedway, so he knows how to get it done in this format. Phoenix is a great place for him. And you look at some of his competitors right now. You got Denny Hamlin, you got Keselowski, maybe Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney, or Joey Logano could fill in that 4th spot. That 4th spot, I would say, they'd have to have one of their best days of the season to win that race. And then as for the other 2, I think Keselowski, we saw him win at New Hampshire, so they have something figured out for the mile program, the 750 package program. They could be a threat. And then you look at Hamlin, who won last year, but that was with a different package. That team's going to have speed regardless, and you're just going to have to that's what this format is. You just have to beat everyone. And I think Kevin Harvick is more than capable. Rodney Childers is more than capable of calling a good race. That pit crew is more than capable of putting together a good race. I think they can get it done at Phoenix. So, in conclusion, he's got the playoff points to blow through the first 2 rounds, and the 3rd round is in favor of him with the tracks that are there at Kansas and Texas. Martinsville, he can afford a bad race if he runs well in the first 2 races. And then when he gets to Phoenix, Phoenix is one of his best tracks historically. I expect him to run top 5 there all day. I expect him to lead laps. And yes, he could very well win the championship. The way this format is, he could blow a tire on lap 1 and finish 4th in points. Or he could show up and he could win the race, which I would think he would be the favorite to do no matter who the championship for is because of his history at that track and because he does have experience winning a championship in this format, unlike some of his competitors, as Denny Hamlin's never won in this format, Brad Keselowski's never won in this format, Chase Elliott's never won in this format, Logano has won in this format, Kyle Busch has. If they were able to get in there, that would make an interesting championship for Martin Truex Jr., but Harvick is better than any of those guys at Phoenix, so I think he's got to be the favorite for the championship, and if he gets to Phoenix, he'll definitely be the favorite. So that is my case why Kevin Harvick will win the 2020 champion. Tomorrow, we will do Denny Hamlin. You'll get to see why I think Denny Hamlin will win the championship. And, yeah, then we'll move on to Brad Keselowski, Chase Elliott, Joey Logano, Ryan Blaney, all those guys. So thank you for watching this. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like and tune in tomorrow for the Denny Hamlin case. And, yeah, we'll see you tomorrow.